What? What up? What up?
What's going on, guys?
Another JTO in your face. I'm Jerry.
I'm
It's
Marcus.
Marcus.
This is 19.
This is 19?
Yeah,
Wow.
we're running up on 20 soon.
Running it up. Hell yeah. It's good stuff. Yeah, you're a little under the weather this week. Not Rona, but
Yeah, not wrong, yo. Don't get it twisted. I'm wearing my gloves. We quarantine.
yeah. I would say this is one of we were talking about like some effects of Rona kind of before um, the podcast started. And one of the byproducts of like Rona filling the hospitals and stuff is people that have any other ailments. It's a little harder to get that healthcare service.
Yeah, it's crazy. I just went to the doctor and they're saying like, if you're not a member, like you can't even come. They're
Yeah,
shutting down as much service as possible.
try to limit those numbers. Just
Those
to,
medical workers are
yeah,
busy.
yeah. But yeah. What we're talking about something like right before.
Well, we were kind of talking about like the weakest link needing to be dealt with as much as possible, but how? And I kind of stand that we just have to do something about them. Like we can't just leave them. But in terms of, and I mean, I usually think about it like the flat Earth people. Like they need to be like silenced.
But see, that's what I'm saying. That's more of a removal. That's not like you can only tell them the Earth is round so many ways before it's like, well, you don't really care about the truth. So there's no conversation to even be had anymore. Like if you're just gonna reject like presented facts with I don't believe that or whatever, not based on anything. All right, to have further conversation to try to convince this person is now a waste of your time and the time that could be spent just going forward. Like you're putting the whole game on pause for someone that's really not trying to make it to the last level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm normally not talking about it from just the perspective of us as like regular people, but like the perspective of bigger organizations because they have the responsibility to be dealing with this stuff. Like for a regular person, you don't have any responsibility to anybody. They want to go out there and get Roman, let them. They want to go be stupid, let them. Like, you reap what you sow. But in terms of like leadership, you have to have your eye on that weakest link always. It can't be flying anywhere else because that's when shit starts falling apart. We left the poor white people alone way too long. They put Trump in.
Yeah. But see, that's a little. I feel like it's different because that wasn't really leaving our weakest link behind. That we kind of got caught up in a cultural thing of these people aren't allowed to complain, while these people get to run up the scoreboard to catch up, like in a historical sense. You know what I'm saying? And
That's what makes them interesting.
oh yeah, no, but that was a lack of empathy though. That wasn't a lack of education or whatever. That wasn't a group of people being purposefully ignorant.
They weren't being purposefully
They were
ignorant,
just living.
but they were being very purposefully. They were very purposely not giving it the attention it needed. That's what I was saying.
No, but that's yeah.
Once you let that attention off long enough,
But
they
I think,
fuck something up.
but those are. I think that's just from two different ways. I don't see those as the same leaving behind of people. Like one, I feel like you do one for the sake of progress. This was done for the sake of a lack of empathy, uh, where you should have empathized the whole time, because none of this was their fault. We just kind of tried to put these people now in a whole historical sense, and like it's like yeah, sure, my great grandfather, like he might have fought for the Southland Civil War, but I don't have a Confederate flag. You know what I'm saying? Like Actually, as soon as I said that sentence, the whole thing gets like a little deeper to me because
It's kind of like when you have two kids. Like,
yeah, I didn't mean to really draw white people to Confederacy ties. That made a weird leap I wasn't really ready for. Like I wasn't trying to make, and I wasn't really ready to go down that rabbit hole of thing. And yeah, because we should have like, all right, complete aside. Civil War. We shouldn't have let the losers keep their banners and wave them like other countries that have done similar. And every other instinct of war, you take down all these because you don't want them to have that same allegiance to this losing team. And the fact that we're like
denounce them all of their works.
yeah, and the fact that we are who we are, and we didn't do that or didn't even have that foresight, but I think we did have the foresight. I feel like there's like Lincoln or some president had a quote to this point of, yeah, we need to take this down. Maybe it was Lincoln. He was just shot in the face, and
It seems like
no one did about it.
it seems like America has a history of saying, "I see a problem," and then not solving it, and then letting it fester to become whatever it wants to be.
But that was a weird one because
I don't know how burn that.
No, because throughout hit I feel like if you took it all the way back to cavemen, the first time people were marking symbols in their mud, and then as soon as another tribe came and took over that thing, they were first thing you do is wipe off that mud symbol. Like that's deep. Like that's it's art of war 101.
Yeah.
So to keep that's a weird oversight that we've just let go all this time. That is cause some irreparable. I was adding a whole different syllable at the end. Challenges that I feel like that's hindered a lot. To what extent, we'll never know. But obviously, every time disenfranchised people rear their heads, these people are kind of in that association of just so I don't know. It's a weird thing that we've. It's another thing that we don't even band-aid out. Like we have outrage about it once a couple years and the statue will come down, but I'm from Stone Mountain where they're on the mountain. The ride. It's weird, but that's a complete aside.
Yeah, and I think that maybe a part of that problem is we have this anti-education thing in America versus in a lot of other countries. Like if you watch, for example, in the Japanese animes,
okay,
the characters you're rooting for most of the time are the ones that are doing good in school. Somehow in America we flip that on its head so hard. And I mean, I just say this watching other shows, looking at other people. We're here in Mexico right now, talking to people. It's something that other people notice even more than us. But I was talking to a student, and we were just talking about his schoolwork. And for me, when I was in school, I was getting projects that were maybe 5 pages, 6 pages, and he was he's young. He's in 10th grade. We're talking. I'm like, okay, so what kind of homework do you get? He was like, I have a 30-page essay. I'm like, what grade are you in? You're in college? Like, no, I'm in 10th grade. I've never gotten no assignment like this, not ever.
Another aside, your schooling wasn't. We've gone over this
it wasn't
before.
It wasn't
because,
but
I see what you're saying.
But that's a fall off on schooling. Schooling in America in general.
No, for sure. It's just that it's weird. It's weird that schooling's not universal across the country either. Like the fact that it's even state by state or even not. We should have learned different things.
Yeah.
But we did. It was different. We didn't have the same school hours. That was that blew my mind. You have no idea. Me and Ben talked about that. We're like, what? Because you were arguing like, yeah, of course. Like, no.
Well, I knew it was some new shit, and we're talking about like block schedules, schooling, things like that. But you'll have maybe even numbered periods and odd numbered periods one day to the other, or a rollover where you have 8 periods, but you'll do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that'll flow. But that was something that got progressed into as I was in school. I didn't like when I first heard about that. It threw me off too.
Yeah, no, but even like your school day length wasn't the same. It was like significantly shorter.
Yeah. You guys got out at like 3?
Yeah. Like 3, got there like 8, like 7 even something. Like I think you get to like 7 or maybe 8. And then so like 8:30 to like 3:30, 4. Yeah. 3:30.
Ours was like 7:30 to 1:30.
Yeah.
And I was like an hour, 2 hours shorter.
Yeah, I feel like it was a lot, not 2 hours maybe. But maybe not.
But at the same time, we didn't have to take every class in a day. We would spend a long time in one class.
Yeah. We were in all of them every day.
Yeah, so like I didn't have to worry about math every day. That wasn't a thing. Once I got in math, it was a long lesson, and then you'd have a lot of the stuff in that. And in terms of that, I think it helped for convenience on my part because, like, as we'd be taking notes, stuff like that, I could be doing the homework. I could be finishing other stuff up.
I think a lot of that came down to the homework because I remember that being a thing when I was in school where parents, it was the beginning of like when parents were like, this is too much homework. And then that's where I'm like, I remember them starting to put like, all right, if it's an hour of class, you should have like 30 minutes of homework or like kind of ratios of time management. Yeah, because like if you think like you have like 7 classes a day, if everyone's getting that homework, and each assignment's like, an hour, or not an hour, like 30 minutes even, that's 3.5 hours of homework. Like, so that means you get back from school 3.5 hours, then you go to sleep. Like, that's the whole day. Like, you know what I mean?
That's how you had it?
No, that's what that could happen.
It was slipping away.
It was, I mean, like, that could happen. Like, you could get to that point, like, on certain times, like, if, like, especially depending on the year, if, like, all your tests lined up at, like, one time or something like that. Then, sure, you could say, afternoon for, like, the next day, or putting together projects, or whatever.
Projects would kind of give us that, but they were, like, in far in between.
Yeah.
And, like, I would even go so far to say I think that the teachers were organizing with each other when to give projects because you wouldn't get too many from like more than one at once.
Yeah, and that was just so you wouldn't be crazy. And that didn't happen as much in my time. Like, you might get like 3 back-to-backs, like, all right, paper due here, paper due here, paper due here. Because then not everyone had the same schedule, so you couldn't really coordinate like that per se. Because not all students have the same workload in your class. So
wait, in one class?
Like if just because we take literature together doesn't mean we take math together.
Oh, okay.
So like the math teacher and literature teacher can't coordinate for the whole, you know what I'm saying? To have that like, all right, well, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole class do this because it doesn't count for everybody. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like I wouldn't bet on you that they were organizing or anything. It just really felt that way because
maybe
like the big projects, like usually English, they would put them down, and then that was I would honestly say for me in school it wasn't the classes like the basic classes that you even worked hard in. It was like the electives, if you picked them, like psychology. I would say the whole social studies department was like going, had been in science, they were just going hard, more so than the Netherlands. Math was just math.
Sure.
They always kick your ass a little bit.
Yeah. But that's why we don't really talk about Rona. Students are going whatever else. Yeah.
It's not. Rona has just so much to it. It's hard to focus in on the thing.
Yeah, and no one knows anything, and
yeah,
it's just messy. It's just nothing. It's just not been dealt with well from the top as far as information and procedures go. There's no like one accord, and out of all the times in probably human history where there was a chance to get everyone on the same page, this would be it. Humanity against an external force that we can't really control. It's slightly bigger than us. Like, this is like the test run for like alien invasion. Can we coordinate together towards a bigger goal for the greater good? And I think we're like passing like as far as like people to people, like in general, but we see like giant weaknesses in like leadership that were kind of obvious, but now it's just like glaring where it's like you guys can't coordinate for shit.
It's crazy because this is kind of making me lose some faith in democracy. Like, it's kind of looking weak right now. China's handling theirs. They are putting in work. They're hitting that curve. We're over here still debating if we can even get a national lockdown.
But see, that's what I wouldn't hold that versus democracy. I would hold that versus the person in charge. That's not a feeling of like.
Or I guess our government. I don't even believe we're in a democracy.
That's more neither here nor there. This really has nothing to do with anybody else as far as it goes. But like,
they broke the democracy part. This is just
no,
a republic.
Well, yeah, but like, yeah, that has nothing. However this is being handled has nothing to do with democracy. I guess is my point. Like, it's just the person there or the people leading, the people in control of whatever that were in place due to democracy. Sure,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know, I get it, but like that's not a failing of that. That's really.
You might need to start like sticking to a president and get a good one.
But no, that's not. That's Caesar. Like, absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's some Putin shit. Like, it's.
You get them out of there when they start tripping.
Yeah, but how do you get them out of there? Like, if they've built up everything and if you've given them unsustainable control, and then you're like, oh yeah, no, that's enough. You're okay. That's like telling people to cut off their money printers in the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah, you just want to shut down oil? Yeah, you just shut it down? Yeah, okay. Get out of my face. It's the same thing, only this person is in the military now. Like, this is literally, I don't know, this happens like every 4 years in Africa somewhere.
Yeah, it's like, we even were trying to cut funding for the World Health Organization.
Yeah, I mean, we're out of control.
Out of control. Like, we need some control.
We just need better people there. If you're listening, vote. That's it. It's not like a failing democracy. We fail democracy. That's it. Yeah. Now I'm gonna get it. Now I'm fine. You've done this. You've brought this up a couple weeks in a row. I let it roll. I'm just like, I throw the Mayweather shoulder up. I'm like, I'm gonna let you have it. It's not it's not really a failing of democracy. It's only like a third of the people vote in like the country. Like, and people die to give different individuals the right over time to do these things, and we just don't do it. And so then we get mad at people representing us that don't represent us, because of course they don't, because they only represent a small amount of people that actually got their ass up on Tuesday to go do it.
Yeah, but then they can they can block you from voting.
Yeah, but we don't even
if you do vote, the delegate can vote against you.
They don't though. That doesn't happen. You gotta cite me on that one. You have to.
I actually don't on my phone, so
Because
I can't pull it up.
that's I don't think that's happened in the electoral college like ever. Not to affect where it changed the outcome. Like we've had like the voter shit in Florida where like the counting was suspect going both ways. There's arguments there. I'm sure conspiracy in there, but that has nothing to do with. And you can say yeah, there's voting suppression, and gerrymandering, and redlining. There's a lot of shit. But then on top of all that, most people don't get off the goddamn couch even to be blocked. Like, people will say all that shit to be an excuse not to go be blocked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When they wouldn't have been blocked. Then that's what we see in Wisconsin. Like, you can do all this shit up to block people until people are like, you know what? Fuck this. We're gonna actually go do this. And like vote who we want in here. You can throw up all the roadblocks. You can make it where we shouldn't even have to be out here doing this. We're holding up signs saying this is ridiculous as we're in the midst of standing in this line to make this vote. But we're so pissed off that you got me outside doing it that I'm gonna fucking put who we want in line, in office here for it was a judge, Supreme Court in Wisconsin. So like, yeah, we can. We're gonna be eruptions. Republican. If you don't vote, then really, I really like it's really. I almost want to throw hands.
So if there's one instance in history where a delegate has voted against
where it had a whole effect on the whole thing, because I'm sure there was probably even one in the Trump election where it was just like, I'm not gonna do it, but he knew it had no meaning. Like it was it's emptier. It's just an empty gesture of rebellion. It's not actual rebellion because you knew it wasn't gonna have an effect. You just maybe wanted to be an outlier in the one history book that gives a fuck. Like it's not real. But what is real is that most people complain about shit and don't do anything they can to fix it. And we know exactly what procedure we can take to do it. And like, if you want a real test of democracy, get 100% turnout, and then you can really see the effects of voter blocking, voter suppression, voter fraud, voter whatever the fuck. You can see where everyone's really trying to like hold the strings and stuff. And then it would be a full-scale rebellion against those things because now it personally affects everyone that participated, which would be everybody. But now it's only senior citizens and a couple of young people that give a fuck. And like it's more people show up to rallies and show up to like more people in some places will show up to rallies and stuff and will go to the actual elections. Like it's really empty. So I can really be missed with the conspiracy attack on all of it just because most people don't participate in that. And it's usually the people that say these things. The next sentence is, "I don't vote." Yeah, and it's because the whole system's fixed. Well, you're fixing the system, so I don't respect it at all.
It's not so much that the system's fixed; it's that they have the option.
Huh?
The fact that a delegate can vote against his
Who? But like you're not even like you're.
That's what I was asking you. If I can find
It
one
doesn't.
instance later I'm gonna do it. But if I can find one instance of one delegate saying, "Okay, I see these votes are for this person, they voted the other way," then
if it swayed the election, then you have.
Does it have to sway the election for it to matter that you could do that?
Yes, it does.
Why?
Because otherwise it could have possibly just been an empty gesture, knowing that it could not have an outcome. Because if it was just like a, what's like that? I don't know what's really like that. I have to come up with like an example for it, but it's just like, because I'm pretty sure that possibly happened with the Electoral College in the Trump presidency. Like one guy was like, "Okay, I see it went red here. I'm gonna go blue." But this was only after he knew that there's no way that this is gonna add up. Like it's a super minute thing. It wasn't like everyone else in the state like went for it. Like that may or may not have happened. I remember that being talked about because people were pissed and they were just like. And there's that time in between the popular vote and the Electoral College coming in. People were like, Well, can't the electors just vote the other way, or who will be, strong enough, brave enough to do it, whatever. Just, of course it didn't happen because it's not, it's not how it's set up. Because if that happened on a bigger scale, like if that happened, no, just once. If that happened like that, like even in that last election, and they were just like, okay, we see this is how it counts out, and this is how it should count out, because like it's no real mystery. Once popular votes in, each state has this many electorates, they should go to this, and we do the math. We just need that verification. We just need to come in and match this, right? If it didn't, if it came in and it was significantly blue, like it was just like, okay, they're just fixing this, we'd have been at war like 2 years ago. It would have been too big of a fix, because what you were saying would have been inarguable. Like it wouldn't even been like a conspiracy thought. It would have been like, no, them. This is why we have guns. It would have been like, and that's why the Second Amendment's made. For real, that's literally why to stop a tyrannical government. That's a tyrannical government at that point. You set up rules and you said, fuck your rules. So, no. Like, I don't have the real tolerance for any of it just because, whatever. So, yeah, I don't want you mad about the goddamn electoral college right now.
Well, I didn't know. I wasn't trying to be.
You just brought it up. You said it 3 weeks in a row. I was like, we'll let it go.
I didn't know it bothered you as much.
Every time. I was like, because it's just like even if it's like, so what? Like, because it just doesn't matter.
They shouldn't have the option at all.
Yeah, we can agree on that. I don't disagree. Yeah, electoral college shouldn't exist. Yeah, popular vote, and that's it. Go for it, of course. But it is what it is. I mean, like, it just it's not that it is what it is. It's just that we should, if we're gonna really complain about the system, we should put the system to a stress test to complain about. Like, we can't complain about something when most of the people don't participate in it. Even though we make it abundantly clear every time that it's completely necessary and this would really help everyone if you did this, because then the people that represent you would actually represent you, and blah, blah. Make it abundantly clear every election cycle that you should vote, and people just don't. And people can get as angry as they want, they can protest in the streets, we told you there's one way you can fix it. You can say they put a roadblock, but you're not even going up to get roadblocks. You're not even going to, because if you want, you should knock down roadblocks. If enough people are mad about roadblocks, guess what happens? You knock it down. Like, you know what I'm saying? The people are just shouting from the back seat trying to drive. So I don't respect that. Like, coming from I don't respect it until. You don't want to hear it unless it's 100% participation, basically. Or until like people are like real about it. Like, that's just complaining to complain about nothing. Like, I mean, it's more. I'm for empty conversation. Like like every conversation doesn't have to go anywhere or whatever. But like, this should be something there. That feels like an empty cup of water to me. Like, it's because even if you're completely right, even if everything you're saying is you're just 100% nail on the head and whatever, I don't give a shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because what changes? What's different tomorrow? Like, nothing. Like, if you want real difference, we can go to like a Chinese rule and you can see a real difference of like some shit. Like, you can disappear at night and there's no investigation. There's no news story. There's no, just gone. And that's to keep 1 billion people in check. So, I mean, there's real differences if you want to compare stuff, but to debate what we are while we're in it, and most people don't even participate in the system of keeping us what we are, I don't give a shit. Yeah.
Do you vote?
Yes, for sure. Actively vote.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, I gotta get online.
So, I mean, and I don't care. But I'm not gonna, because if you don't and to complain about it is what we're talking about. the other through line we were talking about, like with everything else, people making excuses not to do a thing or whatever. It's this you have less control under, but like the little bit of control you're not even taking, and then you want to complain. Like seriously, like let everyone participate and let it fail. Then you have a real complaint, and there you have a place where you can start change. But until then, it's empty. So yeah, if you're listening, vote.
That's a more difficult thing. Just getting people to vote. Because I just did my voters. I had done my voters registration a few months ago. That was my first time actually even doing it,
and it's not like they make it again. They don't make it. It's not the easiest thing, and even to the point where elections are on Tuesday and it's not a holiday. Like I shouldn't have to not go to work to vote. Like, and that might not even be an option for most people, and they know that. Like, so I mean, that's stacked for sure. But like, if you really want to get into the game, then stack it back the other way. Then you have a real base to complain against, because then it's undeniable. Because now you're even in a place where you only really talk to your constituents who supports you, right? And if you know that in any given community, whether it be nationwide, citywide, statewide, like if I know that I only really need to fuck with like a third of these people, and they're like me anyway, and we can just say fuck the rest of these 2/3 people, and I can keep doing this. Why? Why would I reach outside of that box? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially if I don't want to. So we're just gonna run it, and no one's gonna stop it because no one's even looking. No one's trying to care, or they're mad about it. They're just not willing to do anything about it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna start quoting rap lyrics from here on out. Like it's just like, yeah, whatever.
No, it's a weird thing. And it's weird because the people whose interests it's in to vote the most aren't.
No, but I don't know if that's America or more of a human thing, but back to the Civil War, we have a way of getting people to act against their best or their general interests. But we just do it over and over. But I don't know if that's. I'm sure there's more worldwide like events that would point to people doing that to a group of people or whatever. But Civil War happened because of that exactly. Just people fighting against their own interests, their own actual economical interests to feed an ego built. So
bro.
On poverty.
I'm sorry. Actually.
Yeah, that was it. That was literally period.
I want you to tell me when some shit like that bothers you the first time. So I'll be real with you. I repeat it every single week on week. If I don't know, you see what I'm saying?
Well, no, like, because again, like, I don't care. But if given the choice to care, that's how I feel about it. And that was only because it's like you just hear something enough to care about it. That was only like first time. Like I was just like, all right, let you get the bars off.
Well, I would have wanted that. I would have wanted that talk the first time anyway. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know if I would have really felt it. It needed the time. You know, like it needs the brew. It's not even something I had been thinking about, like in even the between times, but like it was building somewhere. Like somewhere bricks were being stacked. I'm like, that shit don't rub me the right way. Because I could feel that way about it, or I could literally.
Well, because like
not care at all.
I feel that way, but I mean, I feel that way based on information I didn't have or didn't think about, mixed with I had instances of this. So it wasn't like, that's why I was saying I just need like if I can just say one instance, like I boop 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 boop.
Yeah.
Like it's happened. I know it's happened. It's
just, I'm sure. Like, yeah.
But it was but it was more that I'm against the Electoral College and against delegates having that option at all. Like I'm cool with the Electoral College if you just have to go with the popular vote. That's great, sure. I don't know why that's needed, but sure.
And yeah, let me be clear. I'm never in argument for the Electoral College. It's a complete misguided thing. Like there's no redeeming thing
opposite
for
of. It's the opposite of what we represent.
Yeah, but actually, I kind of get, because if I were at the beginning, right? I'm a 18-year-old white male in Boston with a nice pen and a nice powdered wig doing my thing. I get syphilis when I get the powdered wig, or it's a fashion trend. I'm just staying cool. This shit got weird out there, but you know what I'm saying.
Stage 1800s.
But if I'm in Philadelphia and we're writing up, this paper, this declaration, and they're like, "Yo, all right, so how are we going to elect people?" My reaction would have been the reaction in Game of Thrones when they were like, "Yo, so we should let the people have a vote." I would have laughed out loud and been like, "You fucking dummies!" Like, hell no, we can vote, but fuck them. Like that would have been, I'd have been hard stance. I'd have been that guy in history. Like, yeah, we ended up being democracy, but this asshole said fuck the people. They threw him out of the building. Yeah, I'd have been that guy. Like, yo, let's have an electorate that votes that based on something. You don't want based on status and say like a oligarchy or whatever, but like based on something, just some type of merit or something. I don't know what that had been based on. Really never had these thoughts before, but like you know what I'm saying. Like, so I would have been the person that would have been like, "Yo, electoral college, fuck the popular vote." But if we're gonna play democracy, let's play the real game and do popular vote wins, and it's the people's voice.
And it made a lot more sense when people had less access to education and there wasn't organized schooling at all.
No, I'd hold all those arguments the same across time.
Across time?
Yeah, I mean
now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would.
If I were to set things up right now, I'd feel the same way. New country, just give me a blank island country or some people. We're drafting paperwork on how we're going to run things. I'd be the same guy standing up, fuck a popular vote.
But at what point throughout your history of the country do you think that should go away?
Oh, no, never.
Never.
No.
You believe in you believe in the Electoral College?
No. I would not be. I'm not trying to set up democracy. I would be good. If I'm setting up a country,
okay.
If Jerry Joe Bear is setting up a country, and I get to do what I want, fuck democracy.
Okay.
Like the fact that I'm lean. I'm trying not to go full dictator. Just understand this. So, and even if this undercoats everything else I said, like the last 30 minutes, I don't care. That's how I feel. I'm gonna talk my shit.
Go ahead, feel it.
So yeah, if Jerry's setting up a country, there's no popular vote. I don't give a fuck what the people want. We can take polls. And like on your opinion on some shit, maybe if I'm up in the air, but it's never something that matters. We're talking about like, yo, are we doing brown rice or white rice? Like, what are we importing? I'll have opinions on that kind of shit, but like, no. Military spending and fucking who's gonna run the courts around me? Like, who I gotta work with to keep shit spinning? Fuck no, it's not up to you. Like, you crazy? You're gonna have to kind of lean on the expertise of the people. It's a slippery slope I'm going on. This will corrupt within like 100 years, but that's how I'm gonna roll with it until the wheels fall off. Straight, I'm sticking to my roots. I'm going straight African dictator in this bitch. Golden gun and a fucking tiger.
We should look up. We should look up how Europe's doing their stuff and how their voter turnout is, because I don't know if they have it better than us.
I'm sure we do a lot of things terrible.
Yeah,
like I don't even know how we have the gumption to even be like, yo, we're the shit. Like the only thing we do really well is proclaim. We have good like commercials
we
for
talk
America.
A lot of shit.
Like our entertainment is the best. Like all of our posters for America are fantastic. Come here and you can see Jurassic Park, and if you go to Miami, Bad Boys, cocaine and strippers, and Mike Lowry's gonna shoot up a block, and you might get shot, but you might not, and it's exciting. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
we'll all be on camera.
Yeah, the trailer for America is unbelievable, and there's real prosperity and opportunity, and blah blah blah. It's great. I love it. It's really amazing. But at the same time, we do a lot of shit poorly. Like the fact that you can get a flu and go bankrupt, that shouldn't be a lifetime event. Like, you know what I'm saying? In a country that touts itself as the church on the hill, the leader of the world. So, but yeah, these are all obvious things. I think, I don't think these are real hot takes.
Well, I was saying just in terms of the voter turnout, because England, they kind of got it bad right now. Trump set a little chain reaction of bad leaders off, but I wonder how their voter turnout is for that kind of stuff to happen. Like, are they a voter turnout of 80% and somehow Boris got in?
Probably not.
You know what I'm saying?
That's not based on anything. I have no idea, but
I was saying we should look at
that. That would actually be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either way. People just get comfortable. And I don't know if they have a big start for us would at least be to make it a national holiday, bank holiday. Like everything's closed. This is all you have to do today. This and feed yourself and shit. Like that's your priority list for that day. Every 4 years or every 2 or whatever, 2 to 4. This. But whatever. But even that, I don't even say that's an excuse enough for turnout to be so low, because these are the repercussions. People that can't lead in times where it's the most important thing. That should be always, but you need to expose the worst so people can really get a gauge of what is. You know what I'm saying? No one's complaining and no one's worried about shit when there's nothing to worry about, or when you're comfortable.
Yeah, comfort's a real villain in itself.
So I mean, as in every tragedy, hopefully this would be like a awakening for people to look at their representation and really get to know them. It's like, I don't know who, I vote for Georgia stuff. I don't know who my senators are. I don't know. I know the governor. I'm blanking on his name right now. It's a bad time to. Kemp. Yeah. And we didn't get our old lady in there. But whatever. But they should be like names. Like if that's your district or if that's your person, you should know them like I know you, because they represent me. Like, you know what I'm saying, and who else represents you? Like, you know what I'm saying, as an adult, male or female, you represent yourself, and you're represented by the people you surround yourself with. This is really the only position where we actively choose someone to talk on our behalf, besides like a court.
Yeah, that is a weird thing. Like, do you think in the past our representatives were like heroes on the streets? Like,
it's still the case in certain places, like on small scales. So you get like a little war hero. I mean, the mean war hero, but yeah, like you get like local heroes, and they'll get in like small office and maybe work their way up. I'm sure there's national senators with those beginnings and stuff like that. So it can happen, and it's nice and uh, coaxy when it happens. But
Yeah, I was saying that because I was thinking like it doesn't seem rewarding to be in those leadership positions. Like,
it's public office. You have to be a servant. That's also a thing that got lost, I think, because people there's money to be made doing these things now. Like lobbyists drop dollars on senators,
yeah,
just to vote in a certain way. But you to be in it should be a special type of person to be in these positions. A person that really is able to put others' needs above their own actively, like a fireman or a good
Cuomo,
police officer, huh?
Cuomo in New
Yo,
York.
no, he's shining hard.
Yeah,
He's in that talk, like right now. Like he could, yeah,
and I was saying it more in terms of like the love they get from their constituents because I remember like when they were talking about the California governor, he was talking about people going on lockdown and things like that. And I was realizing like this is the first time I've heard this man's name at all. I've
he,
never heard of him. I've never cared about him. I
yeah,
should love this human being.
yeah. And see, and we should know them before, and like I was saying, I guess before, but I don't blame anyone. That's not the
Yeah,
case. But even like Cuomo, that feeling towards him is only through this though, because they voted him in and all, but no one was like, from the consensus I've heard from New Yorkers, it's been that it was cool. They liked him enough to vote him in, but no one was like he's the shit. No one's putting that stamp on him like no, this is our guy. Now it's like this is our guy. Like it's a real. He brings comfort. You feel like he's really taking charge of things. He's concise, clear. He's a leader.
yeah, and I mean, of course, it's on the job of the representative to be someone to love for their constituents and work hard for them. But I feel like there's like a love that's missing for that takes away from someone who would be that public servant, making them hesitate a little more to even do it because it's like it's almost just a thankless job.
No, but that's why
It's
you have to be built for it because it's thankless. Like that's but a servant, like like a butler, like literally like a professional butler. That's a special person to do that because your whole, no matter how you see it, like their whole action is to make someone else comfortable or others comfortable at their expense almost. Well, no, through their work. Uh, and especially in that relationship, if that person if there's a real caring there, then that's like
it boosts it.
it boosts it, and it's just a deeper thing. So like, but there's a constant like, yeah, it just boosts it. So like but there's a certain, it's not everyone, I can't be a butler. It's like I'm not, I wouldn't be built for like office. I just said if I started to start a country, it's dictated like that's why I shouldn't do the job.
Yeah.
But I feel like people are in those jobs that would feel the same way I do. They just knew there was other things to be gained by having that power position. So yeah, it takes, yeah. We just got to be better at recognizing who's really for us, and what that means.
Well, we gotta stop being so damn comfortable.
Yeah, that's it really. We needed something to shake up our comfort level, like as a whole, and this is the only thing outside of in our time outside of like volcanoes exploding and not even earthquakes, like that everyone got shook up. Like, it's a real global thing. At the same time, we all know it's happening everywhere. Like there's not been another time in history where that was even possible because that level of communication only comes with the internet. Yeah, at the very least, like phones, like cell phones and stuff everywhere. So like Yeah, and then so just another thing, like even like Spanish flu. Yeah, people were sick in Spain, but chilling in Morocco. Like so, shit like that. That's it's Mediterranean Sea separating them. It's right over. I can see you guys. I just don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like now it's I can go on TikTok and see a Japanese guy dance in a fucking mask. It's pretty amazing, but so we have the opportunity to be shaken up out of our comfort zone and to make things different, for, better where we can. We've exposed a lot of gaps, and now would be the time to fill them. Now that they're widely exposed and we know the harm, we just have to give a fuck. In May, in June. But I think it's easy to give a fuck because so many people lost so much, and all the businesses aren't going to survive this. Big and small, like it's people are coming after Ticketmaster because I think Ticketmaster is in an interesting position. And we can wrap it up. We're approaching like the 51, but Ticketmaster changed their refund policy to where now you can only get refunds on tickets on shows that have been canceled, not postponed. But every show's been postponed and people don't have money or income. So I need this money back for that, So, but now they're like, we're not giving those refunds. So, but they might, and you can speculate why. Obviously, they don't want all their cash reserves taken all at once. That's one. They could be insolvent. They might not have that cash reserve to even have the money for all of the returns, like a fucking bank. Yeah. Banks don't. I don't expect Ticketmaster to. And then on top of that, like the way around that, you can go to your credit card or your bank and be like, "Yo, stop this payment based on fraud," and it's called a callback. And banks and credit card companies do that all the time, and that's a penalty versus like you can. Some cases you have to like prove it, but this is pretty obvious, and under the conditions, no one's arguing getting your money back right now for shit. So they'll go in and they get to take that money straight from Ticketmaster and give it back to you by force, and it goes against you like in a Better Business Bureau way. Like it points it off, and like if there's enough fraud cases against you, then you get shut down and shit like that. So like
that's kind of beautiful.
They're in a precarious, and this has been a company that's been fucking people on ticket prices, and they've no one's been happy with Ticketmaster for a long time, and so the fact that they're now in this position, they're a giant, but like I don't know if they can survive like people coming after like $31 billion in revenue at once. That's I think how much they do in like ticket sales a year.
Okay.
But like if people are coming to ask for $15 million today, you want it today?
Ask guys.
Yes, and people were pissed. Like see Reddit polls, it was trending on Twitter the other day. So we'll see. We'll see if who survives what and who comes out stronger, who doesn't.
Before we wrap this up, I wanted to ask you, what did you think about Joe Biden? I don't really have an opinion. I don't know much about him, but what do you think?
I think Joe Biden is a good person, right? I think he cares. I think he's a public servant.
Okay.
So I believe his heart's in the right place, and I believe he will put people around him that are experts in the fields where they need to be. Because he won't be working alone, and we know his team would be closely associated with Obama's old team. Like, maybe not the cabinet positions that he puts in or whatever necessarily, even though they could share similarities. I'm just saying, at least the thought processes, or he'll be thinking in those lines. And Obama's representatives were high experts in those fields. There was never that wasn't a question. Like that wasn't a thing. Like it was just like yeah, obviously I'm gonna put someone qualified to do the job. Like, and they were the best, and so that we had to offer. I'm worried for his mental state, to be honest. Like he's old. I feel like he's slipping a bit. Like not dangerous. He's gonna push the button and sleep kind of shit. Like, but like I don't want this. I would be concerned if he were acting alone. If he were president and like
He did.
I mean the buck stops with him, but like if if he were in his state and also I didn't think was played well with others, yeah, or even listen to the team because you can pick a good team, but then it does come down to you. It's what do you want to do, Mr. President?
Yeah.
And I think I do think that he would be one that would be able to delegate where he can. So I think he'll be a good figurehead for hopefully a good team of people. But yeah, I'll stay there. There's no real, yeah, because if there's no alternative, then that's fine. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I would like someone stronger in the head position for sure, undoubtedly, but
he's not bad.
he's not dangerous. He's not dangerous, and if something were to go wrong, I really wish I knew his VP.
Yeah, I think we were talking about it last episode that like they should have to say who they're going to have.
I would love to know. I would love all this to not be speculative at this point. Like, because I don't even understand the unveiling for it. Like, why? Like, start getting the FBI checks through now. Let's fucking run it. Not say that they're gonna go in, but like, we should know who's gonna be doing these things where you have a real like back and forth. Let's set up the fucking charts. Education versus education. Who sucks here? All right, you win this round. Like defense versus defense. Who's not gonna send all the kids to die in war? All right, you check it. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a real bracket down the line. So VP versus VP, like a fucking political death match of ideas and what would you do? Because even when they have the debates and stuff, you have this one guy giving his how he feels about all these things. I would be okay if one guy was like, yo, I do know what you're talking about, and like I have ideas on it, but I'm no expert in it. But my homie over here in the audience on the front row, that's my guy. I let him come up, and he's going to be in the office. If I'm in there, this guy is going to be running this. So let him tell you what he's going to do. And he would have a whole breakdown of whatever the fuck that would be, that would matter. I care about that more than the show of one person knows how to deal with everything. Because I don't expect one person to know how to deal with everything. Like
specializations will really matter.
Yeah, that's everything. It's the whole thing. That's what a real leader. The leader is someone that can put the right people in a position to win. Our current administration has shown more than any time I've been alive that these are people. Even George Bush, when he got in office, his cabinet was tight. Like, you cannot agree with the politics that they were operating, but they were never like, these are fucking dummies. Like, he had fucking Colin Powell, like, as his Secretary of Defense. Like, there was no, when he made that call originally, there was like, oh shit, okay, maybe we should shut the fuck up, because that's a whole decorated war hero right there. And he's black. It's us. Like, we out here. Like, I don't like you, but I'm not mad at that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Over time, you can call a question because we went to war and everything didn't go great. So, like, but this wasn't a guy not equipped for war. Even if it didn't go well, there was a resume. So these people that are in these cabinet positions now don't even have a resume that makes sense for them to even step through the front door. And it's going poorly. So, of course, it's like, so, yeah. We talked about that last week, but
I feel
that's crazy. That's not a bigger ask, like, or that I've never even heard that
brought up.
Yeah, like I've heard Trevor College gets brought up all the time, and our debate's dumb and should be longer, blah blah, like whatever. Never heard of like why do we put off, like why is there a big reveal like way later down who the VP is? As soon as you know I'm running for president, you didn't think about it. It's never occurred to you. Oh, you're just doing meetings now. So you've been thinking when you want to run president for like a year or two, but you never thought about who would be the person standing next to you the entire time. I got to go hold meetings. You were talking to people. You've never talked to people, and this is nothing to do with Biden. This is every time for every election. It's the general cycle of it. It's weird. It's weird.
Make some changes to the process to make it more obvious.
Because it doesn't make sense. Like it doesn't. Why vote for Captain America when Captain America can't shoot Thanos? We need the Avengers. I need the whole squad. I need to see what we got, and I need to see if we can go versus Infinity Rings, because the Infinity Rings are just always here. That shit's every 4 years. That gauntlet's intact. You know what I'm saying? But we're always
ready to be put together.
There's no end game. Like this shit is just Infinity War on a loop. Goddamn it! Like we keep getting snapped. You know what I'm saying?
There's a gauntlet race every 4 years.
Yeah, and we're worried about Cap. We're worried about who's holding the shield. Who gives a fuck who's holding the shield? Who has the Iron Man suit? Who's who's running Wakanda? Like I need the squad. I need the motherfucker. I need Doctor Strange coming through a portal. I need Black Widow spying on bitches. Like I need Hawkeye not missing. I need Thor with the motherfucking hammer. I need the raccoon. I need everybody. Like fuck Cap. Cap's gonna die. But I need to know who's gonna take up the shield when he dies. No, who's Falcon? You're not gonna tell me who Falcon is, you sons of bitches.
And then the thing that be getting me is they always are running around in like these big groups, like they got squads already. Like you don't know who none of these people are.
No. I need to know the names. What are your powers? What do you do? What do you know? That's all I'm saying. That's what.
You can wrap it up.
You're sweating. This is fun though. All right. Well, this ends another week. 19. It's good. Good shit. 20 coming up. Will it be different? Yeah. But never know.
Yeah, we gonna start giving y'all some trailers soon. Y'all don't even know.
Don't worry.
We might not.
We'll talk about it. But all right, guys. We'll see you next week. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Vote.
You know. And make sure you practice your social distancing more than anything.
Stay away from me.
Yeah, more than 6 weeks. 6 ain't enough.
It's never enough.
You gotta cross that street.